Good morning, all. I hope everybody is doing well. I haven't been on Facebook for a little while. I went MIA. Well, it wasn't my choice that I left and went MIA. You see, the universe, for some reason or other, gave me laryngitis. So, I believe that things are given to us for reasons. Laryngitis for me was to tell me to sit back and start to listen. It wasn't about talking and giving them messages. It was about listening. That's what all you can do when you have laryngitis, right? You got to sit back and listen. So today I'm out to get some fresh air. It's not my usual speed because today still not having the full energy of which I usually am. But it's to get out, put some air in me since I've been stuck at home dealing with laryngitis. And I'm on the mend, but fresh air, a little bit of nature does wonders for me. It's just as good as having a good rest. Today, I wanted to talk to you about starting over. So many times in my life, I've had to start over. When I was a young woman with 2 small children, I knew that the relationship I was in, I was actually just lying to myself through the whole time. It took me 12 years to get the courage, and I do say courage, because, I had these dreams that never really reacted. Went into a family that were totally narcissistic, and I was never actually exposed to people like that. And I had this rule in my head that, I didn't want my children coming from a broken home. It took me 12 years to realize that my home was already broken and I was living in there. So, hence I had to start on a journey and I had to start all over again. The reason I'm saying this is because starting over is trying to recreate yourself one way or another. For me, it was for many ways. Hadn't had a job because I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years. Had to figure out what I can do. Lost my confidence in myself because I was a stay-at-home mom. By the time I was back to, I was already a David. I was already back to, back to at that point in time in life. Computers were up and going, and I wasn't even trained in that area. The whole world had changed. So it had to start with recreating. Well, I did a good job. Did some of the things that I didn't know what to do. Lost my confidence. Go back to school. Never mind, it wasn't just about going back. It was retraining again, building up my skills. Went back to what I always knew well. Legal field. I was a paralegal. This time I had to build myself back up again. Got out and over, started out again. Though it wasn't easy. And the one thing we learn when we're starting over is we hide our true feelings. We don't tell all of our friends how we really feel. We put a smile on our face. But from time to time, things come out of us, right? Things come out to us, and we kind of show our trueness in some ways. Maybe we say things. Maybe we show our anger in some ways. Sometimes we even show our fear. But for a lot of times, a lot of us tend to hold, I like to call it like a curtain over us, because we don't want to show people who we really are. But let me tell you something. Something that I want to tell you is, if we don't reach out at points and ask friends, family, even sometimes strangers, because it's crazy how we can talk to strangers about anything because they don't really know us. We can be real true. So it's important that we reach out. But it's a long climb, and it doesn't happen overnight. So I'm telling this because I've been doing a lot of reading since I haven't been able to talk, right? Told you, the universe told me I had to start listening. So, all through listening, reading emails from people, and saying how difficult it is to start over again. Never said it was easy. But what we have to really start with is us. We have to start kind of learning about ourselves. Because when we have a knockdown, it doesn't necessarily say that we're knocked out. We sort of think we are. But what taught me through so many of the times, and like I said, that was only the one time. Second time was many years later, many years older. Yeah, it's not quite as easy to start over again when you're much older. See, I had to start it again in my 50s. Again, same situation. Left, at least had a place to live. Didn't have really much else. And I knew I was in for the fight of my life. However, I had a lot more knowledge. I had a lot more understanding. I knew what some of the things were going to come towards me so I could prepare. That's part of the secret. You know, when we start over in our 20s, when we start over, maybe even younger, because we keep on starting over, when we have to recreate ourselves, when we start over when we're older, and this is something like, I'm only telling you the words of wisdom from what I've come through. We are starting over, at least at this time, we're starting over with a lot more experience, with a lot more knowledge to what we have to go through, what we need to go through. But sometimes, you know, maybe you've been in a relationship for 40 years and you don't know any other way. Maybe the kids are all now, September, we're at a beautiful time of year, but to some, it's not as beautiful. Yeah, it's September now. The kids are all going back to school. And now, maybe it's just you alone, or maybe you're just you and your husband now. Yeah, have you two been together for a lot, or have you spent your time just focusing always about the kids, never about each other, never about yourself? Now it's the time you have to start learning about you and building you and starting from scratch all over again. You see, you know, at this point in time, it's really hard. I'm not going to start making it sound so phenomenal, how easy it is, how it's nothing. No, it's hard, but you got to do the work. You got to do the work so that you learn, you grow, and you can figure out what is it that you need to figure out for yourself. So as we move forward in life, and as certain things happen to us, and it's time that we start building ourselves, I want to tell you a little secret. We're constantly rebuilding. Life never is just as it is. It's always about creating and recreating. Even if things are going well, you still have to be changing. You still have to be learning about yourself. There's still going to be things that are going to make you fearful. I still have things that make me fearful. For years, I wouldn't even do a Facebook Live like this because I was fearful. But I know I have messages that I have to share. I know that at this point in my time, I don't consider myself older. Mind you, in the last few days, sitting on my couch, not being able to talk and feeling very lethargic, I did feel a lot older. But, okay, allowed my body to rest, allowed myself to sit back, as I said, and it was time to just listen, read, continuously start growing. So here's my tip. Life is going to constantly keep changing, whatever we're going through. We're going to always have to keep growing and moving forward. If there's things that we're scared of, we have no choice. We got to step into the fire. Yeah, I know it's difficult. You know what? I think I've been in the fire so many times, I think I have permanent burn marks on my feet. Only kidding, but it's true. It doesn't stop. It's the growing that we need to become, that we need to do so that we can become. We have to become more for our own sake. We have to realize, and I do, because every time I've gone through things, I stop. I look in my rearview mirror. That's right, I look back. But I don't look back so I can stay back. I actually look back so I can see what I've come. I can see the challenges that I have gone through. And it's my time to celebrate for me. It's my time to learn, to see that I've actually grown. So the challenges aren't going to stop coming. But as we can actually grow, and as we can become better at everything that we go through in our lives, to have the confidence, even when we don't, to reach out to others, even sometimes to reach out to people and just tell them, thank you, hello, I love you. That's all you need. Sometimes it's just that connection. Just to let you know, as we start in the new year, coming up, we've only got another 4 months, and we're hitting into the new year. I want to tell you my message today is if you are going through challenges and you're not sure which step to take, start with a goal. Where do you want to head to? When we have some form of a goal, then we can go to the next step and go back and figure out what is our next step that we're going to take. And if you really don't know, I challenge you to sit back, be quiet, to see what comes, to listen. As I said, the last few days have been real listening days because I haven't been able to talk, haven't been able to reach out. So it tells me we need to listen. Remember, they say we have one mouth and 2 ears. I wonder why that was done. So if you're moving forward, if this is the beginning of the new season for you, September, your life is going through some major changes. Maybe it's that relationship that isn't happening anymore. Or now you're actually deliberating whether you should or you shouldn't. I want you to sit back and draw on a piece of paper your pros and cons. In your pros, look at all the reasons why you need to do what you need to do. And then look at your cons. All the reasons why not. Are those cons just things that you're actually just scared of? Or are they really true? And then you look for somebody who's made it through and you reach out to them. And as I said, sometimes it's easier to reach out to strangers than sometimes it is to friends. Because we, for some strange reason, we put a thing on so that we shouldn't show our friends who we really are. Crazy, isn't it? Because we don't want to be real. And that's kind of sad. Learn to be yourself. Learn to accept whatever it is. And if you can't be yourself, then I want you to think twice about that friendship that is around you. Is it there for a reason? Is it there to make you think about that thing? Are they teaching you things? Remember, we can learn things, good or bad. Doesn't matter. Right now, it's all about just doing what you need to do for you. So step ahead. Today is Labor Day here in Canada, also in the US. I just want you to spend this day maybe in a little bit of thought of what the next few months are going to bring, how you can create better things in your life. Either way, how you can create that new you, or let's say not just create that new you, how we can just build ourselves up into a better, stronger us, so that we can shine a little bit more. And if anything else, just to have that little bit of satisfaction in who we are. Those are today's wise woman's words. Remember, it has to start with you. It has to be all about you. If we don't do for ourselves, who's going to do for us? Right? Anyways, thanks for listening today to my words. And I ask you, stop for a minute And as these last few days have given me time that I've had not been able to talk and had to listen, I want you to pretend sometimes for maybe even an hour or two that you can't talk. And I just want you to sit back and listen. It's amazing the messages that can come to you, right? Have an awesome day. Let's make today a wonderful day. Create some happiness around you. And remember, you know what? There's always somebody out there that you could reach out and touch and speak to and learn. Because you know what? We're all in this world. We're supposed to be in it together. So you can rebuild. And if you're having trouble and you don't know the next step of the way, you know what? Reach out. We'll have a conversation. My links are always on my Facebook or my Instagram. It's always about reaching out to others. Have a great day. Enjoy. Bye for now.